John Cena.
Johnny Cena.
Johnny Cena. John Cena.
Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, right? It wouldn't be Cena. Yeah, Cena.
Johnny. What is up, everybody? I'm Marco Messina.
And I'm Michael Cantaris.
And welcome back to Italian Football TV. Mike has got his voice back, and the Serie A is back after that. We were pretty spoiled. We had 3 games in a row this week.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So it's like back-to-back weekends over here with Serie A. We haven't missed a beat, and we're happy about that.
And it started on blazing pace with Roma beating Udinese 3-1 in a pretty solid match for them.
So straightforward.
Exactly. I agree with you. Edin, Dzeko getting on the score sheet again. This guy cannot be stopped. Yeah, I mean, Roma just bagging these wins. Very good start for them. They're actually doing better than where they started last season, which is pretty interesting. And yes, being led with Edin Dzeko, I mean, he definitely leads the line. Shaarawy getting his first 2 goals of the season in this match also. Pretty good.
This is his second goal. Jeez, what? It was a back pass from one of the center backs. Oh, beautiful. It was a mistake and it went past the goalkeeper. Shaarawy was just at the right time.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Udinese do not look good at all. If Verona and Benevento weren't as bad, we probably put them in the relegation race where I had them last season. My prediction probably would have been better this season because Udinese do not look good at all. But the question is, with Roma doing so well, can Roma enter the Scudetto race? They're really off the charts of what a lot of the media is saying. Gazzetta, Corriere dello Sport, the media in Italy, even us, we push them out of the Scudetto race, but they are bagging important points. They've got Dzeko, who's on fire, who's leading the line. Can Roma get into the Scudetto race? You guys down below, let us know as we move on to one of the most exciting games I think I've watched in a very long time, and I'm going to tip my hat to SPAL. A 3-2 loss they had against Napoli, but man, SPAL came out of this match absolutely guns blazing, which we never see from a Serie B club, scoring first, getting back into this match, and then at the death of it, Napoli were able to come back, but I think really the storyline is in SPAL.
And yes, SPAL's atmosphere at the Paolo Mazza Stadium, it was electric. It was insane. Over 50 years, I believe, that they're returning from the Serie A, and they really fought. Even though they lost, they won my heart at least. They played amazing.
Exactly, and I know that the scoreline doesn't justify what happened, but SPAL came out of this match using their advantages to what they had. You know, they're a physical team. Napoli's not as physical of a team. You know, they're smaller, and they were using these crosses and getting on the ends of great goals. I mean, that first goal was absolutely brilliant, and Napoli were not playing good at all, like we've seen a few times actually this season. But then, when they need to, they're able to step into the second gear. I know, you know, SPAL were up 1-0 at halftime, so a lot of people were thinking, can SPAL be able to pull this off? But Napoli and Sarri specifically, I think the key moment of this game was when Hamsik came out and he put in Alan, because Hamsik has been through a little bit of a rough patch, just being honest with it. And Alan was needed because they need some physicality in the new midfield with, I think it was Zielinski, Diawara, and Hamsik in the midfield. Yeah, thank you. And without Alan and Jorginho, who were constantly there, they looked weak, and SPAL were just dominating in that aspect. And to be able to do that and pull it off, I mean, credit to Napoli, because I think that Sarri's able to read these games. They're showing why they're a Scudetto contender, just because these games, which weren't supposed to be, it's probably supposed to be an easy one. But yeah, I think that a lot of credit goes to Napoli for being able to get this one through. Again, they're constant goal scorers coming in clutch in this one.
No, yeah, for sure. Napoli could have easily tied this one. It could have been, you know, drop points away, but they managed to get the points done. And talking about Napoli for a little bit, Milik, the big injury with Milik. He came in as a substitute, right? And looks like he tore his ACL once again. I think it was from his other foot this time.
Yeah, it was his right knee.
But yeah, he's getting unlucky with these injuries, and we hope in the mess, but it's not looking good for him.
Yeah, too bad for him. We're gonna be another 4 to 6 months out. You're in our prayers. Sorry, this really sucks. Happened to another Serie A player, but we'll talk about that later on. And yeah, I just wanted to say a stat from Napoli. 22 goals scored in their last 6 games. That's an average of 3.5 goals a game. Napoli are absolutely killing it. And for SPAL, they've had a pretty tough few games in a row, playing both Milan sides back-to-back, losing those 2-0. And to be able to come out at Milan. I think that a lot of clubs, playing against Napoli, I think that a lot of clubs really need to learn from SPAL because they did justice. Coming from Serie B, a lot of these teams just roll over, beg for a draw or not to lose very much, and SPAL really wanted to win this one, but again, Napoli superior and always going to be in control of this match. As we move on to the Derby della Mole, where I know Michael is not too happy, but I am smiling.
You could be smiling, but
4-0. Come on.
This was an embarrassing derby. I'm only upset just because Torino did not put up a fight at all.
You've been dominated.
Completely, and that's something you don't want to see in a derby.
You don't want to see. I and the Juve fans want to see. You and the Milan and Inter and Roma fans.
From a third person's perspective, Torino were so poor. They were so bad. I don't think they had a shot on target. And it's usually good. Yeah, it's usually a good derby, and this one, it was horrible. Juve really dominated. Torino couldn't do anything. And a red card towards the end. No, not towards the end. With Baselli got a red card. That changed the game dramatically.
It was very stupid yellows. I think that, Torino were actually on a hot streak. They were in like 6th place coming into this match. They did have very easy games, so Juventus were the real test. But I think Juve completely controlled the match in a match that's very heated. There's a lot of emotions. Usually Torino play better than they ever do in the season in a kind of derby like this. But Juve with Matuidi and Pjanic in the midfield absolutely dominated. I don't think there was ever a moment of doubt in this one. Maybe before the match, Juve fans were not looking so confident, but man, the midfield looks so good with Matuidi and Pjanic. They complement each other beautifully because Matuidi does a lot of the physical side. Pjanic able to have this freedom, which we saw on his goal and the assist. And I just think that Pjanic has completely stepped up from last season. You've been a huge critic of him. Yeah. Would you agree?
For sure, Pjanic. He looked better, but I want to see him against a big team. I want to see a real test against him. I don't want.
He's doing good.
Okay, he's doing good, but like I said, I want him to be tested, and I want to see how he performs under there.
And Dybala, I mean, constantly killing it consistently. He's got 10 goals in 6 games. Last season in 31 games, league games, he scored 11 goals. He's 1 goal behind last year's goals, and he already has more in open play because most of those came from free kicks and penalty kicks. Dybala is the best player in the Serie A at the moment by a long margin. The goals, the leadership, the way he stepped up in that number 10 role, I can't hype up Dybala enough. This kid looks so much. The way he's developed from last season to this season has been pretty extreme, pretty beautiful to watch. And Cuadrado also had a good game. But the question is, can Dybala keep up this insane form which he started on? It's going to be tough, but let us know in the comment section below. As we move on to a game which everyone was DMing us, is Michael okay? Is Michael okay? How's Michael doing? Because Sampdoria beat AC Milan 2-0. I was actually pretty happy for my Sampdoria friends out there because they got a special place in my heart. I know, Michael, you'll have a different perspective on this match, but for me, Sampdoria, clap it up to you guys. You killed it. They played so well this match. Milan were on the back foot. I thought Milan were going to be able to come through and slip in a 1-0 win, but they weren't. Sampdoria played the game the entire way well. They got that Zapata goal from Zapata assist, and Sampdoria completely deserved this. A tie would not have been justified. A loss would not have been justified.
No, I agree. Sampdoria played great. Then again, AC Milan played very bad. But Sampdoria, they have a great squad. Everyone's overlooking Sampdoria, but they have a really good squad. A nice attacking force. Zapata coming there. We know Zapata? With Zapata, actually the striker. We know he's from Napoli, but he's been loaned out. He was at Udinese, had a great season last season with Udinese, and now he came to Sampdoria. Yeah. Bagging in those goals, him and Quagliarella up front. So they're looking good up there.
Let's talk about Milan.
Milan.
With the 3-5-2, they did not look good.
I thought they looked better.
I don't think so.
I would think
so.
No, I'm saying I would think they would look better with a 3-5-2
than the 4-4-2. Bonucci, you got to do better on that header. I was happy.
Yeah, they're trying to curate the game towards Bonucci.
Yeah, a little
it's not
bit
really
too much.
working.
I agree with you.
I don't think it's
the
working.
The 3-5-2 limits them because Suso is in a position where he's too far away.
More people out of position in that 3-5-2 than that 4-4-2.
I agree. Kessie was extremely poor, and not just the formation, because you could blame the formation, and yeah, a 4-man defense, whatever, would look better for the team. but 50-50 balls were lost from AC Milan. This is more than just gelling together because, of course, that takes time. This is a new team. But 50-50 balls won by Sampdoria. Sampdoria just completely wanted this game much more than AC Milan wanted this game. And yeah, you could use those excuses of they needed to gel together, this and that. Zapata, I mean, Musacchio was on the bench, which was extremely questionable by Montella. And Montella is under a lot of heat at the moment. So many hashtag Montella outs going around, which I think is pretty ridiculous this early in the season.
It's too early, and a lot of people were questioning him for the post-match comments. They saw him smiling, and they got mad. And it wasn't even a real smile. It was a little smirk, and they got a lot of Milan fans just got mad seeing him just slightly happy.
I get that. I know you didn't get that, but I get that just because you kind of want your coach to be pissed. But then on the other hand, Montella,
it's not gonna help.
We didn't see the video of what he says inside the locker room. Just because he acts that way to the media doesn't mean.
That's true.
But speaking about post-match comments or reactions, Fasone did have some mighty words, which everyone was very happy about. He said, "I never want to see performances like this again. We should not be losing to Sampdoria, who is not as good of a team as we are." I think he is extremely correct. I like that stance from Fasone because there needs to be somebody behind there saying this is not going to be possible. And there's also a little bit of show because the Milan fans want to hear this. You know,
of course they want to hear, and they spent 200 million
and are only
in
2
the
points
transfer
more.
mercado.
They have 2 points more than what they had last year. 200 million. A new team needs time to get together, but I mean, I don't know. It's early on. It's very early. How can you
listen? There's only 6 games played, and also a Sampdoria. They have a game in hand. If they get a win the next game, they're gonna be in 4th place. That's a Champions League spot for Sampdoria.
Play Roma in that game.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's not that easy. Having said that about Sampdoria, their other Genoa club did not do so good. 1-0 defeat to them by Inter, of course. Wasn't actually looking that good for Inter in the start.
No,
so slow.
Yeah.
They were playing without urgency, a little bit like AC Milan, where they were extremely slow. The first half started good, second half so slow.
But not as lazy as AC Milan.
Not as lazy, but still not good. And Genoa's not as good as Sampdoria.
No, for sure. It was a little 50-50, nothing too crazy, not too many chances.
Yeah.
But Inter won it at the end.
They had the first chance in the beginning though, Pjanic. That was pretty sick.
True, yeah,
and you're right. Inter won, ended up winning this match 1-0 right at the death.
D'Ambrosio from the corner. From Torino.
Say it.
Oh my God! It was like who took that shot?
Caramo took that shot. We'll talk about it in a second.
Took that shot outside the box. Perin could have. I feel like he could have hit it out. Maybe even grabbed it. But to play it safe, he popped it over the net, putting over for a corner.
It wasn't gonna go in.
Or maybe post. It
wasn't. Post and out.
Yeah, maybe.
But then D'Ambrosio.
D'Ambrosio came out of nowhere, towering header, hit it in the corner. Perin just fell into his net. He couldn't believe it. It was like
Perin a little bit questionable to me on that one. He was a little bit hesitant to come out. I don't know. It curved it. Maybe it looked like it was a little bit further away.
I don't think you can blame Perin on that.
But D'Ambrosio, I mean, criticized so much to get this winner at the end.
Venturo's gonna keep calling him up for sure.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm scared of. When I was posting on Instagram, on IFTV's Instagram, I was like, damn, I'm hyping up. Because we showed D'Ambrosio with the Ballon d'Or. I was like, I hope this doesn't mean Ventura calls him up. Yeah. I mean, for Inter, again, it's still not clicking. I'm convinced that the midfield is still a problem. Today they went with Edin still on the bench, which is a little bit scary. He hasn't been doing so well this the beginning of the season.
Vecino, João Mario, and Brozovic there sometimes.
Brozovic did very well tonight. Brozovic did well. Vecino, I'm not a fan of. He's not a CAM. Inter's still lacking that number 10.
They do have the right players. I just feel like they got to move them around a little bit.
Maybe. Dalbert, again, another one who didn't look
Should have never left the Gavi goal. Would have been Fika.
No, Gavi was short. Dalbert, again, in the left back. He's shaky, extremely nervous. Skriniar, beast, as always. The kid is good. And yeah, not much else to say. But having said this, again, I know we've been called repetitive in this one a little bit, but Inter not playing great, but still able to get that win. This Genoa, not a great team, of course, you know, down in the table. But, I mean, this is a characteristic trait, for me, in my opinion, of a Spalletti team, who's able to pull through with the win and get it, not deserved, because neither team were doing very, very great, but I think that with Spalletti, there's actually a graphic, they have more points with Spalletti now than they had without Spalletti, but it's going to be seeing if he can consistently pull this off and have the team play better as the time goes, because it's not going to be enough just winning. They're going to need to start doing it convincingly against teams that are not Genoa.
No, yeah. Spalletti, you hit it perfectly, actually. Spalletti's actually give them a different dimension and making them win when they, I wouldn't say don't deserve or almost don't deserve to win, which last season they couldn't.
As we quickly move on to Fiorentina, Atalanta, 1-1 at the death. Atalanta were able to pull one back with about 15 seconds left. A lot of controversy in this one. Fiorentina's director after the game said, what is the point of VAR when you get 3 calls wrong in the day? He's talking about all penalty calls. He wanted 2 penalties for Fiorentina. One of them for sure justified, and one against them, which Atalanta did miss through Papa Gomez. But yeah, not happy. Fiorentina fans were not happy at all. Atalanta still showing that fight. If we take a step back from the controversy in this one, Atalanta 1-0 down after a sick goal from Federico Chiesa, by the way. Second goal of the season. Atalanta never give up. After everything, they're 1-0 down. They miss a penalty. They have all these calls that they went in their favor or whatever. They didn't give up, and they were able to get the goal 15 seconds left.
That's what I love about Atalanta. They keep going. So unfortunate that Papa Gomez. I could have bet that he was going to score that. But Sportiello with an amazing save.
And
bottom right corner. Yes, he had a great game overall.
Yeah, that's all really there was to say about this one. As we also talk about, Crotone got a 2-0 win over Benevento. Somehow, Crotone were able to win. And Lazio, 3-0 thrashing of LS Verona, who we never expected anything else to happen. And our big ups go to Mandragora, who scored for Crotone. He's born in 1997. I think that makes him the youngest midfielder to score in the Serie A. Mandragora, congratulations to you. Imagine being a kid.
19 or 20 years old. And he scored. It was an amazing goal, too. Absolutely. Outside the box, and he ripped it top right corner.
Unfortunately, the 2 poor moments that we did have this Serie A, 2 ACL tears, one from Arek Milik, who we mentioned, and one from Tuminello, who's on loan away from AS Roma. Unfortunately for them, man, that really sucks. Both young kids, both young guys. Milik's been through this before, but it's going to be a long recovery period, and our thoughts are with you on speedy recoveries. You got to come back stronger. Should we look at the table real quick?
Yeah, let's check out the table. It's looking kind of interesting. Now there's only Napoli and Juventus that have maximum points, and right under them is Inter, 2 less points from them.
Yep.
So they're actually doing pretty well.
I don't even need to check the Serie A table. You got to memorize.
But look at the relegation zone.
Yeah. Relegation zone real quick. Benevento with 0 points. LS Verona and Genoa tied on 2 points, with Udinese just above them at 3. And then Crotone, Sassuolo, and SPAL all on 4. So it's extremely tight. Again, like we said, we're not even going to go into the rant. We need to cut down our Serie A teams because it's extremely poor. But I want to go up again a little bit. Lazio in that 4th position. And it's tight at the top of the table. A win for Roma, because they are in 5 games, would push them all the way up right behind Inter. And that top 4 is looking crazy. Napoli, Juventus, Inter, and Lazio, who are all in the Champions League spot at this point.
I give a lot of credit to Lazio, actually. They had some good teams that they played the past 5 games. And they're really putting in, and Ciro Immobile, he's been on fire for them. Right behind Dybala, right?
Yep, right behind him.
So he's doing amazing. Hopefully he can continue this, and he's definitely going to fight for the Capocannoniere with Dybala.
As I look over Fiorentina in 12th place, we need to see more from you, Florence, unfortunately. But Torino are up there in 8th place, who are a great young horse. What is it? Dark horse, right?
Dark horses, yeah. But the 4-0 beating against Juve, I'm so disappointed in them. I expected so much more.
I didn't really expect too much.
Really?
I was pretty happy.
They didn't show anything.
Listen, I like them. I know Belotti didn't get to score, but play against Juventus. I mean,
guess that
a little warning call. But yeah, Juve finally looked good. First game that Juve actually looked good. Come on, you got to give me this one.
Well, then again, it was more of a Torino not playing.
No, it wasn't. It was Juve playing better. It was Juve playing better.
I don't know.
Anyway, guys, that is all we have for you today. We asked a few questions. Jump in the comment section below. Make this a community. Let's all talk about some Serie A, some calcio. And next week, we'll be back with some more. Probably this week, too. Is it Champions League? Juve Olympiacos this week.
Yeah, I know it is.
Be ready for more content.
Juve is going to win, similar to the Torino scoreline.
Guys, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.